back in the studio. I'm working on a very detailed piece. I've done the base of the sea and the sky, and I've done the base of the buildings and the boats. So now I'm just adding detail, and I've decided to use a combination of watercolour with the paintbrushes, but also I'm going to use the watercolour pens because it's so small and I need such a fine point that I will try and do most of it with the brush. But I think things like the windows, they could be done with the brushes, with the pens, the watercolour pens. So I'm just going to try it out in a minute and just get some more depth on these, try and get shadows on these roofs. So that was with the watercolour paint, and then I'm going to try with the watercolour pen just to see what the difference is. It's actually not a lot of difference. Possibly just the colour is more accurate with the pens, because it's quite hard if you haven't got the actual colour like green or white. It's hard to mix to get the exact colour with the paint, but I'm actually thinking it's better with the paint. I might just use a combination actually. It kind of works. But yeah, there's an awful lot of fine detail in this, so it's going to take a while, I think. It's just a matter of going back and forth to it and ooh. See, that's not great, is it, with the pen? It's got a little bit of a, get that off at the end. They run so easily, the pens, the watercolour pens, so it's quite difficult to do detailed stuff. I'm giving it a go. So I'm going back over the blue that I'd already done, because the blue and the black, because when I did the white, obviously it mixed in and I lost my definition on the windows. So this is just a task of going back now and finding the details that I lost. You can see here where the white's blended back over, so I'm just going to make it stand out. So I've got to go and do this with all the buildings now, and then add black as well, and also with the trees to add more depth to them. It's quite hard talking and concentrating. Do a couple more and then you can kind of see the progress then. And I think it's the detailing that takes the time actually, because you've got to keep looking back at the photograph that you're copying and adding, and put some shadows in with the black. Give the window some depth. And I think with watercolour, there's a little bit of artistic license. Is that the right thing? It's not going to be exactly the same, but then that's what's unique about having the piece of artwork done. I'm just getting the darker bits on these windows. And see where it's run, because it's so fine, I'm going to have to go over those again with the white. It's completely different than when you're working with chalk, and it's quite difficult. So I've done quite a few chalks lately to then go back into a different medium. You've got to kind of switch over. I suppose it's like using an iPhone and then using a keyboard. It's very different. But I do find watercolour relaxing because it's quite slow and quite detailed, delicate. Whereas chalks is a lot messier and it's sort of smudging and everything, which I quite enjoy as well. It's just different types of artwork really. So I'm going to carry on now and keep adding in some finer details and get the shadows in, the roofs, and then yeah, you should be able to see my progress.